Welcome everybody to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I am streaming live on YouTube and Facebook because this was something very important to me and I wanted to discuss it. Um, so the topic is Raji Black, example on why black men need power. When I first heard about um, this case came out and that the fact that he killed these two people. And I've heard a lot of live streams about it, but I wanted to kind of lay low about it because I wanted to know more information as it come out. Because you know how people jump on different things and they jump on it, and then more information, then you got to backtrack and stuff like that. And me, I don't like doing that. I don't just jump on everything. I like to let things simmer so more information come out, and lo and behold, more information came out about this guy, and the more that I hear, the more I felt that this was a tragic story. This is a man who felt powerless in this society, and it's really sad that he felt that way because he was doing that. He felt that he had no other route except to kill two women, X out two women. So if you haven't heard about this, this happened last week. Last week on the 16th, that Rajaee Black killed two women, one Tyler Labing and his ex-wife Wendy Brown. He went on before he went and killed his ex-wife. He went on Facebook Live and he talked about the 3-year custody war with his ex-wife. He said in the live stream itself that there were molestation charges from the ex-wife, and he blamed her for the start of this depression. And his ex-girlfriend, pregnant ex-girlfriend, was threatening the same charges that his ex-wife was, which was, we'll find out later. And so he went on the live stream and said that he killed her before he did the live stream. He said he never thought he would be that type of guy, but he did. And he said he didn't want to go to prison, so he's going to X out the ex-wife and then X himself. And then come to find out later that the children, his two daughters, were in the car. They weren't harmed. Nothing happened to them. They were found by a neighbor. So let me get this out the way before I talk about anything. I, Brother Speak, do not condone the actions of Rajaee Black. I do not condone it. I don't think it was necessary. I think there's other ways he could have gone about this. So anybody who's going to take from this live stream that I'm condoning his actions, believe that he was right in doing this, I'm the wrong person to even think that about. If anything, what I am trying to do in this live stream is to say what he could have done better, you know, instead of going this route. So anybody who's going to think that I'm sympathizing with him, empathizing, I may empathize with the situation. Hey, what's up, Max? Glad to see you. So if anybody thinking that I'm going to condone it, I'm not condoning this. Now, listening to him and listening to his friend and listening to one of his ex-girlfriends, I do have a lot of I have a little bit of empathy for him, but I do not condone what he did because I believe this did not help him at all. So let me go through it. Like I said, he killed his ex-wife. He talked about the 3-year custody war they had with his ex-wife. Blames her for the start of his depression. So the custody war started in July 2008. Actually, he filed on my birthday. Why people do stuff on my birthday, man? So he was going for full custody, and it's been going on 3 years, back and forth, filing after filing, and there was one situation where he had to pay his wife's lawyer's fees for the custody hearing because of the fact that he would not give up his information about his employment, uh, financial dealings, and just a whole lot of. He didn't want to, and didn't want to disclose that he went to therapy. So yeah, he ended up having to pay her $5,000. So let me go into this. So as I was reading, I looked at the court cases. I went to the Maryland uh, court dockets of all the court cases they had. You know, there were people talking about, well, all these women were for filing domestic violence charges against them. And if you look at all the court cases against them, it's only one person that filed against them. That was the wife. And also, he filed domestic violence charges on her. There was a protection order filed on him. It was denied. It was a peace order filed against him. It was denied. She wrote letters to the court saying how he was beating her, and she had to call the cops on him. And there was no evidence of that. So really, if it boils down to it, it's like he said, she said, and there's no evidence either way that he was this violent person. So I was listening last night and I stumbled upon this video. This was from, let me look that up. I hope that I put the link in the description. It was Too Raw TV, Too Raw TV Uncut. He had an interview with Eric Jackson. Eric Jackson is the alleged best friend of Rajaee Black. Now, it was interesting. He talked about this. The first thing he said, he saw no signs of Raji being violent towards anybody. If anything, Raji was one of those people who would avoid violence. He was always the helpful person, always with a smile, laid back. He wasn't that aggressive type of person. So he was saying that all these claims that he was this violent person, this danger to society, he said no, that wasn't the case. And then when you look at the court cases that they had against him, there's no evidence of him being that. There's no evidence that other than his ex-wife, there was really no court cases where he was just this violent person. All the other domestic violence charges, there was even there was a child care worker that filed against him, and that was even dismissed. So there was really no evidence of him just being this violent, angry person. They tried to label him this pookie. This dude wasn't a pookie. He was a nurse and anesthesiologist. This dude was hitting the books, according to his friend. Matter of fact, he said Eric went on to say that he would never hurt his kids. He would never hurt the kids. Matter of fact, he even said that in that interview, he said when his kids were born, he wasn't perfect. He was doing some goofy shit. When his kids came into his life, he changed his life. So he talked about the ex-wife, and he said, well, she wasn't an angel. She wasn't perfect. So it wasn't like, oh, she was just this wife that was just being this nice and he was just this monster. From what I gathered from him, both of them had issues. Both of them had problems. And and from looking at the court cases and looking at it, it's just like these were two people that probably shouldn't have got with each other. They probably should have never got with each other. So, and he also talked about how he was going to school. He was homeless at the time, and when he met his wife, she helped him go through school, become the nurse anesthesiologist. So she was helping him. I'll add more on that later, but let's move on. He also said Raji lost his mother when he was young. She was on crack and died of a drug overdose. So when Raji said in that Facebook live he had no family, Eric confirmed that this man didn't have no family. He had nobody. He was all he had besides his friends, but that's all he had. Um, he also said that he was a laid back guy. He made others smile, but the dude was homeless. So this dude was not some guy who was just some bum. This guy built himself up from the bottom and, and got into nursing anesthesiology. But the problem was, again, ran to the wrong people. And Eric kind of confirmed what Raji was saying, that he felt that the custody battle, this battle between him and his wife, caused the depression that he was going through. So there was also another girlfriend who decided not to reveal her identity. She went on to say that he was never violent towards her and that he had depression. He needed help. Now, she agreed with that. He had depression. This dude needed some help. But she ended up leaving him because he would not go get help. That's key here. The key. He would not go get help. If anything, he had told her that his life was worthless until he met her. More on that later. So, we'll go into the court cases. And there were multiple filings of domestic violence against Mr. Black. That was all of it was with his wife. All of them were dismissed. There was a peace order filed against Mr. Black. It was denied. Protection orders was filed against Mr. Black by his wife. That was denied. And he also filed against her. He claimed that she tried to run him over with a van. That was dismissed. So it was just back and forth between him and her. There was really no evidence of him with other women doing this. It was just him and that wife. So let's keep going. He was on his own. He didn't trust no one. He kept his circle small, which it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at times when you do keep your circle that small, it kind of limits you in opportunities, and especially when you're having issues such as custody disputes. You're having an issue where you're feeling that this woman is coming after you. You don't have people who can navigate situations like that, navigate the court system. Now, he had money. He hired lawyers. So I was looking at that. He had lawyers. But again, it goes back to he still felt powerless because he couldn't stop her from coming after him with these domestic violence cases time after time and time, custody disputes time after time. This, like I said, this was a over 3 year dispute. And, he got with another woman, got her pregnant, and he was saying on the video that she was going to do the same thing, file domestic abuse charges against him and keep him away from her and his unborn child. So, like I said, he trusted no one, he kept himself, he felt alone, he had no social power, which I'm going to go into. He had money, but he had no economic power. See, it's one thing to have money. Nothing wrong with having money. But it's what you do with that money is important. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not spending it effectively, because money is a tool, if you're not using it properly, then it's worthless. You're just a fool with money. And a fool with money soon part. Everybody gonna take it. And finally, he had no power over himself. So let me get into this. Okay. Why I said it's an example of a black man needing power. So if you look at from reading the cases, and also the other thing that was not talked about as much, that he was fired from his job from the medical board of Maryland because he had filed. He said that a doctor over there was hiding drugs, and they fired him. So he was filing against them as well, but it didn't go nowhere. And on top of that, he ended up having to pay the University Medical Board of Maryland for the fact that he filed those charges against them. So he lost his job. He's having a problem with the ex-wife, still on this custody war, which even till before he committed the act was still going on. Then you're having a problem with the girlfriend saying she's gonna do the same thing that the wife is doing. So all this building up until he decided he couldn't take it no more. Again, I empathize a bit because I know how people will lie on you. I know how women will lie. I I seen it firsthand. I seen a woman lie to the job, lie to our supervisor that this guy hit her, and we're all there. It's not like nobody was there watching this. They were going back and forth. She goes tell them that he hit her. So my supervisor come down. He said, "Hey, we need you to come to the office." I'm like, "Come to the office for what?" So, hey, did he hit her? I'm like, "No." They were arguing back and forth, but that was about it. He didn't hit her. He didn't touch her. So knowing that that was a domestic, if that one went through, he would have been fired. That's one thing in the state of Texas. If you're working for the state, you cannot have domestic violence charges at all. None. That is a no-no. You get those charges, you are done. They're axing you out the system. They will fire you straight up. And she knew that would happen, and she did it anyway. No, knowing we all there, like we gonna back her up and stuff. That ain't happening. But again, so people will lie. There's people will lie to get at you. Now, the problem with this situation is that even if I believe that this woman had lied, even if I believe that the other woman lied on him, we're about to do the same thing and lie him and go to court and lie him and stuff like that. I can't prove either way because we can't talk to these women. We can't they can't make like some kind of Facebook post or Instagram post or YouTube video and saying that this dude was a animal and stuff like this, and then we can't look at her and say, okay, she might be lying, she might be telling the truth, she might be lying, but we can't get to that point because he killed both of them and then he killed himself, which left his kids with no mother and no father. And since he didn't have no family, the only family these kids have is on the mother's side. If she got family at all, we don't even know if she got family. I think Eric Jackson said that she does have a mother, but then there's no guarantee that she's going to be healthy enough to take care of these kids. Hey, Super Mike, how you doing, man? So there's no guarantee that these kids are going to be taken care of. They might end up in an orphanage. They might end up in foster care. And if it's anything like Texas, those kids are ass out. I'm just saying. So in the end, he didn't think about the children. All he thought really about his pain, his suffering, and he didn't go get the help that he needed. He didn't have any social power. And what I mean by social power is having people around him to speak for him, to fight for him, to, and I don't mean like fisticuffs or anything, but going into the court was being character witnesses for him. And giving him tools to actually fight it and to keep her from coming back. He didn't go get therapy. Because if you have this depression, you feel depressed, you feel like you're all alone in the world. Let's see, hey, Kendall, Kendall, you just being public enemy of the public enemy number one over there at the Ebony Star Network. I mean, I'm still waiting for that debate between you and Max. I want to see that debate. I will pay for that. But regardless, this man he felt powerless, and because he didn't have any tools to fight his depression, and from looking at the court documents, he refused to go get help, and from the ex-girlfriend, he refused to go get help because he felt that he was alone, that he felt that he had to do this on his own. When he was fighting against his former employer, he was fighting it alone. He didn't have that social power, those connections to where he can successfully fight to keep his job. He couldn't go into court, and he didn't have any tools where even if this woman was lying on him, he could have easily took that took a phone, record her, ask her about stuff, and then why are you saying all this stuff? And then you can record her. I know in Texas, you can auto record someone, and you don't have to tell them that you're auto record, because in Texas you only need one party to record, one party's consent to record somebody audio. to auto record somebody, audio record, and that is the person recording. Nope, I can't win from from losing over there, right? No, no, no. You sure that he can't, Kendall? But yeah, but this is the thing. He could have done that. There was other avenues where he could, if he felt that he wasn't winning in the court, there were other avenues he could have taken. You know, he was fighting for full custody. It seemed like that was the whole gist of it. He's trying to get full custody. There was other ways he could have done that. You could have had a conversation with her. He could have had. I mean, there's so many other ways he could have handled this besides what he did. But because he felt powerless, he didn't have people around him to really keep him from going off the edge. And in fact, Eric Jackson was saying that on the day that he did the murders, he did try to call somebody. He tried to call another friend, but the other friend was at work, and he couldn't contact him. And again, because the friend's at work, you know, we be at work, we don't know what's going on. You know, so it's one of those things where this man felt powerless. He felt that the only way to end this was to end the women and himself. We as black men cannot get to that point. You can't get to that point because, again, he got children. They needed their father. They needed their mother. Now, if she was bad for the children, then again, he should have been in the right frame of mind to fight so he can get those children. There's other avenues. There have been men who have got custody of their children. There are plenty of resources that they can be there. One person I know, Jay Shine, he's got custody of his children. LAR Movement, he's got custody of his children. So there are other avenues. There are men's groups online on Facebook. There are men online that can teach you how to navigate the court system effectively so you can get the custody of your children. And yes, you're still going to have to pay money. It is what it is. This court system is kind of fucked up in that sense that men got to pay up all this money to get custody of your children. But you got to have that. You have to have that. You have to have that money. You have to have, because that's part of economic power, so that you can afford these attorneys. But you have to pick attorney that's really going to fight for you and fight for your best interest and not just for the paycheck. And you got to keep an eye on them too, because hey, even lawyers are shady. Again, you have to have a social circle. People who can, and not just people you can hang with and be friends with, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you have situations that you don't know how to handle, you should have somebody that you know that you can go to right off the bat. Okay, man, I'm having a problem with my baby mama. She's taking me to court all the time. Oh, I know. Let me talk to Jay Sean. I can go talk to him, and he can teach me how to navigate the court system. Or I can have some. Oh, there's somebody in Maryland. I know that guy. He got custody of his children. He he's and got custody. Let me holler at him. Let me holler at LAR Movement. Let me holler at even Mr. Palmer. I know Max is not gonna like that. I know Max ain't gonna like that. But Mr. Palmer has information on that. Even Ty City got custody of his son, and he can teach him how to navigate the system. But we as men got to be open to that. You got to be open to talking to people. That doesn't mean you just trust anybody. That doesn't mean trust anybody. But you have to be open to talking to people because that's how you really get power. See, I talk about power here. So you don't be powerless. But in order to get that power, you have to be open to other people and to the right people. Because life is not for play, it's for real. And people, if they think that you're weak, they will take advantage of you. Men or women, the court system, your job. Everybody, if they feel that you are a weak, you're powerless, you can't control yourself, yes, people's going to take advantage of you all day, every day, and on Sunday. And you looking like you feel hopeless. You feel like there's nothing. And then now the only thing you feel that you can do is kill somebody. But that doesn't solve anything. Because like I said before, even if I believe that this man was having all these issues with the wife and he wasn't doing absolutely nothing, I can't prove either way because he killed her, he killed their girlfriend, and it's going to be very hard to convince somebody that these women was doing something so heinous that they had to kill them, that he had to put them out, and then he killed himself. So he asked everybody out. So now he's going to go down as this monster. And it's going to be very hard to get people to prove otherwise. Let's see. Sometimes we just need access instead of full custody. Sometimes we overlook what can happen trying to get what is out of reach. Yeah. And that's it. Sometimes going for the full custody may not be the best play. Sometimes it's access, what playing the long game, waiting. Hey, may have to get in comments, may have to talk to the woman, or get somebody to talk to her, record her. He probably could have said, hey, Polo, how you doing, man? Could have got somebody to talk to her, record her. Then maybe she slipped up and said, hey, oh yeah, I'm just doing it to get back at him because, well, whatever reason. He could have done that. There's other avenues to do this than other than you going to court, you're losing all this money, you're losing all this money, and you're getting nothing out of it. And now you're getting more depressed. Now you're getting more depressed. And you didn't get no help. You got to get help. One thing we as black men got to have control over ourselves. So this dude he went from the black woman, he went to this Asian woman, and he was dealing with according to him, the same type of woman. She doing the same type of shit that he's saying the ex-wife was doing. So at that point, I can't go around and be like, well, these women ain't no good. I gotta look at him. You still dealing with the same type of woman. Sometimes at best you need to, if you're having a situation, with your ex, and where it's just been just nothing but drama, whether you caused it or not. Sometimes it's best you have to sit back. May need to go get a therapist. There's no shame in it. I know it's been is frowned upon in the black community, especially with men, because we're supposed to be the strong, tough, silent. We can handle it. All this, and do. Don't buy that bullshit. Everybody needs someone they can talk to. Everybody, man and woman. That don't mean you go crying a river every time you see someone. No, I'm not saying that. But you need somebody who you can vent to, who can advise you on how to handle certain situations. Because again, whether I believe that she was doing wrong or not is immaterial now, because we cannot prove it. All we can go by is that he killed two women. And I don't see nothing from what he said and from these court cases that would justify him killing these two women. Nothing. But I know this, he killed two women. How do I know? He told me. When he told me he killed one, now he ain't gonna tell me he was gonna kill the other one just before the live stream ended. So I know those. So I know all those. Now, there's other thing that people were talking about, and the whole thing about the red pill, and um, he was a Kevin Samuels fan, so that might have caused him to do this. And let me tell you something. This dude had this custody war for over 3 years. Kevin Samuels didn't really get popular until last year. This dude was homeless, so and he didn't have no family. That was way before Kevin Samuels got into guns make killing too easy. Guns make killing too easy. Yeah, when he had access to guns. Yeah, he had access to guns. But that in itself is not gonna make somebody just go up and kill somebody. The problem was him. And we have an environment now that a lot of men, and this is across the board, it ain't just black men, it's white men, and a whole bunch of men are feeling powerless, and they taking it out on other people, especially women. It's just that black men, we get focused on the most because again, we don't control our image. It's another thing. When you don't have no power to control your image, anybody can put what they want to say about you out there. And since now he's dead, Memphis is the problem. Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, we got that problem here in Houston too. People just it's just shit. It's a shootout every night. That's why I don't even look at the news no more. But the point I'm trying to make with this is that we have an environment right now to where there are dudes who are fed up with life. They feel like they're getting kicked in the ass, whether it's real or not. I don't know. You never know with people. And social media is not helping because it allows these people to share their pain but not get therapy. It doesn't lead them to therapy and they're not seeking it. Instead, what they want to do is vent their pain and keep venting it, but not improving. That's what it is right now. And they want to stay in powerlessness. They want to stay in that position instead of actually gaining power in their lives, so they don't be in the position where they got to, you dealing with women who you feel are causing your depression. My road rage, yeah, road rage shooting, just shootings over dumb shit. Men just shooting other people just because, and that's the environment that you have right now. And again, for black men in particular, because you don't control your image, they're trying to make you the face of everything. They're trying to make you the face of uh, homosexuality. They were trying to make you the face of domestic violence. Who remember the NFL when Mike Brown got shot and everybody was like, "Oh, damn, these police people are fucked up." Bam, this campaign against domestic violence, and who was the face of that? Black men. Now they're being the face of murder again, molestation. They're trying to go with that route. They're trying to put us the face. They're trying to make us the face of all these evils out here. And unfortunately, we're not trying to dissuade it because we got guys who feel so powerless they have to do shit. When how do I put this? I talked about like other races of men, and they do the same shit. Don't get me wrong, they do the same shit. But there's the key difference. They're doing it to maintain power. We do this shit to get power. That's what it is. We're doing it. We're killing women, children, and each other because we're powerless. While these other groups of people are doing it to maintain power. We're doing this because over ego. We're doing this because we feel there's no way out. These other people are doing it because they're trying to get power and keep an image. We're just saying fuck it, and we're just doing whatever. It shouldn't be like that. We as black men got to get power. And and the way to get power is through information. The way through information is to get to know people and stop getting people for ha ha jokey jokey stuff. Actual people who actually know what they need, what to help you in certain situations, like this court situation, dealing with women, dealing with the job, dealing with life. If you don't get on it, you're going to feel alone, and then you feel like you're powerless, and the only way out is to X yourself and other people. And you shouldn't feel that way at all. Black men, it's time. You got to. I don't care who. Check your ego at the door. Check your ego at the door. Ego is your greatest strength, but it's also your greatest weakness. So you have to check that at the door and get the help you need. So you can fight these court cases. You can you get the mental health, and you don't come to these women broken and powerless. I was looking at what the friend was saying that this woman put him through school. You shouldn't be dependent on women like that. It's not a good look. It doesn't help you. It's not a good look, especially in 2021. You don't need to be owing people anything. Because again, they'll use it against you. It's just the way it is. So you have to get it on your own. You don't need to be getting into no relationships where you're dependent. You need her help to get through stuff. Those days are over. You have to get it on your own. Let's see. It's a shame because a lot of black women pushing this negative image of black men the most. Well, yeah, because again, you don't control your image. When you don't control your image, guess what? People can put whatever they want about you, right or wrong. Right or wrong, they can put whatever they want. You don't control your image. So black men going to have to get power. And that means getting information to help you. That means connecting with the other black men who are going through some of the problems that you're going through, even on the job. Getting together with other black men so you can fight that fight. There's a lot of battles that black men are going to have to face. You're the first one hired, and you're the last one hired, the first one fired. Why? Because you don't got no power. You ain't got no power to fight. But that means you have to open yourself up to people that you may not like. You may not want to hang with this motherfucker. But if he can help me get out of this court case, you're damn right. I'm gonna be his buddy till that court case ends. Or I'm gonna be buddy until I get them people off my neck. Or I can get a situation where I can tell these people to kiss my ass and quit. You gotta put yourself in that type of position, man. You can't go out there feeling like you're alone, and you really. And I'm not saying you have to be all this groupie, hug, lovey dovey type situations. You don't need to be all that, but you need a support system of men and women. Not every woman you meet, you gotta bang. Some women you just need because they got information that can help you. You don't have to be buddy with every guy, but you need information that can help you. And the information is power. Once you have that power, you can't be controlled. You won't be powerless. You'll have all the tools you need to survive in this world. Because winter is coming. And everybody is taking steps to make sure they're good. Black men, are you? Or you're just gonna sit and wallow in powerlessness to the point where you feel like you just don't want to be in this world no more. And you can do that if you want to. But if you got kids, what are you gonna do for them? Because look, it's your legacy. Those kids are your legacy. They are the representative of you if you have kids. How you want to be remembered? I'd rather be remembered as a good dude who helped everybody, who helped people, not as a monster who killed two people and now your legacy is tainted, and their kids' legacy is tainted because they got to live with the fact that their father he exiled their mother and himself. That he didn't love them enough to stay. That's not something if I had children, I would want my children to be in. Matter of fact, I was so against being a single father that when me and my ex I we were trying to have children. One of the things that she had an issue with her heart, and one of the doctors was saying that yeah, she could die in childbirth, and for me, that was one of the things I did not want to be a single father. I wanted my child to have a mother and a father. I still believe that. And even if that means that I don't have children, I still believe that I would rather them have a mother and a father than just me or just her. But that's my choice, and that's the power that I have over myself. That I'm not just having babies with anybody. And it just seemed like for this guy, not to cast him in this totally negative light, but it just seemed like he didn't have control of himself. And he was just putting himself in situations where he had no business being in. Maybe he didn't need to have children. Maybe he didn't need to be married. But when you are powerless, you put yourself in these positions because society tells you to, or you feel like you need some type of family. And it's not out of you actually plan this out. It's just you have a desperate need for it. And you should never be in that position. So we need to learn how to be brothers. There's an honor code. We're so emotional we can't see what is the real core of the problem. Yeah, and that's it. Because we're so powerless, we feel so lost that we don't really see the problem. And really the problem is us. And we don't want to take the steps. It's hard to look in that mirror. It's hard to say, yeah, I fucked up. It's very hard to say that. It's easy to say other people fucked up. It's easy to say these women fucked up, this dude's fucked up. Um, it's the white man. It's the societies. It's easy to say all that, but it's hard to look in that mirror and say I fucked up. I'm not doing what I need to do. I need to change it. I need to put that ego away, put that pride away, and go get the help I need. I need to actually talk to people that can actually help me in these situations. That's very hard for men to do. Like I said, the ego is our greatest strength. Makes us do a lot of stuff just because we don't want to look bad. But that ego is also our greatest weakness because it'll make us not want to get help because we don't want to look bad either in either situation. So it leaves us powerless, stewing in powerlessness, and to the point of where we just act irrationally. An emotionally immature male is a dangerous thing. Yeah, dangerous to himself and everybody else. It's very dangerous. And you find out that you beat me to the speak. Yeah, it, it's you don't want to be in that position because you're not only a danger to other people, you're a danger to yourself. Like I said, black male suicide is going up. It's been going up, and thanks to social media, we're acting out more, and it's not helping us. It's not helping our image. It's not helping our children. It's not helping our women. It's not helping our community. Now, I'm not saying you have to care about the community or anything like that, but the main thing you do want to care about is your image, your reputation, how you want it to go. I know some people say, I don't care what other people think. It ain't just about caring what other people think. It's about you use that reputation to get you out of stuff. And especially when they want to remember you. Do you want them to remember this weak, pathetic fool who asked out two women because whatever? You want to remember the man that Eric Jackson remember this guy as. This laid back dude who would give the shirt off his back, who helped his friend get out of homelessness. So, in closing, the more I read about Rajaee Black, the more I did empathize with him. He felt powerless. He was fighting against his ex-wife, custody, but he couldn't control himself. He got with the same type of woman he claimed was causing all his problems. He was fighting against his ex-employer and losing that. You know, fighting his depression and fighting it alone. He didn't want to get no help. He didn't want to get anything. And so he just decided to end it in the worst way. And again, whether I believe that these women were messing with him or not is immaterial because I can't prove it no other one way or the other. But I know what I can prove. He killed two women. He left his and himself, and he left the children without a mother and a father. He left his children in a bad way, and on top of that, killed his unborn child because the ex girlfriend was pregnant. Those are the things that I know, and all because he felt powerless. And I don't care if you're a Kevin Samuels fan or fan of Black Manosphere or fan of other people on YouTube. If you feel powerless and you feel that you have no hope, you will do anything. You are truly a dangerous person. Black man, if you feel like this, go seek therapy. If you're having problems in custody, child support, go seek the men that can help you. There's plenty of people online who's not about the bullshit, who's really going to actually teach you how to handle these things, so you don't feel powerless, and you're not feel like you're wasting your time and money. They can help. There's men online that can help you either fight your employer or get you to a situation where you don't have to work for anybody. But you have to be willing to open yourself enough to seek out these people. Don't just seek out people to share your pain. There's no problem with venting and telling people your pain, but then at some point, there has to be a healing. You have to have people that are willing to help you heal, even the hold you to the fire and hold you accountable for your own actions. If you don't, you're gonna do something heinous, either to yourself, the women in your life, or the children. And this is how the story of Rajaee Black ends. At the end of the day, he left his children without a mother and a father, and their future is unclear. And to me, that's the biggest tragedy of all. And with that, I'm going to. I can't think. And with that, I'm gonna leave, and because now I'm being more depressed, so I need to go hang out with a friend of mine. And I thank Ebony Saw Network Max for showing up. I'd like to thank Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment for showing up. I'd like to thank Kendall Rowland for showing up, Super Mike for showing up as well. Subscribe to the Ebony Star Network. They have a debate league going up, Black Ops. And I was actually a judge for the last debate between Kev and Raji Harris. It was a very good debate, and I enjoyed it. And shouts out to Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. Very wise on sports, basketball, football, and helping brothers too get that motivation they need to not feel so powerless in this world and actually do stuff that's going to benefit them and whoever's around them. Uh, Shouts out to Super Mike. Super Mike was here too. He talks about group, black men coming together, being on code, that we can actually take on this society and actually be a benefit to the women and children and themselves. So subscribe to him. And also like to give a shout out to Ty City of the Logic Sphere. Guy I listen to a lot. He talks about men's rights and men not being powerless. Stop the blaming, shaming, and explaining to women. Get your own power. Stop worrying about these women. At the end of the day, it's you. If you need help, if you feel like you're going to commit suicide, there is the National Suicide Hotline. I'll probably put that in the description. I should have did that earlier. If you are a victim of domestic violence, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a male or female. You are a victim of domestic violence. Please go get help. Please call the cops. If you feel that you're a victim of fraud of domestic violence, go get an attorney. Go report these people. At the end of the day, you you can't sit in a room, be depressed and angry, and feel like you're the end of the world. You got to go get help. That is the message I want to leave people with. The only way to power is to actually go get it and go seek it. With that, I'm gone. Y'all have a good one. Peace.